What's up, guys? It's Sports Talk with Tim Corso, and clearly I am Tim Corso. So, this is going to be a new sports podcast talking about the world of sports, the news around it, and my opinions on the news. Alright, so we're going to get started today. We're going to be talking about Antonio Brown, Chandler Catanzaro, and Riddick, all in the NFL world. Now, starting off, Antonio Brown with his helmet. Okay, I find this kind of funny because, listen, the new helmets can make it safer, and he complains, oh, they limit my vision to catch a ball. Yet, to some extent, that may be true, but you're one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best. And you're trying to tell me that a helmet's going to make that much of a difference? Now, I understand people are comfortable with their ways, but I think he can adjust because he's that good, if he is as good as he thinks so, and I think he is. But that is just, I think it's kind of an absurd situation. Now, I do agree, you know what? If they want to wear a certain helmet, let them wear a certain helmet. Clearly, he has been not affected by any serious injuries that will end his career. And that, thankfully enough. But, for goodness sake, Antonio Brown, don't turn to Le'Veon Bell. He wanted to get paid. He sat out. And I know it's different. It's a helmet. Wear the helmet. You're one of the best receivers in the NFL. Put a helmet on and play football. You're making millions of dollars anyway. And he hasn't said this, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm making all this money. I should be able to choose what helmet I want to wear. Maybe the opposite. You're making all this money, so shut up and play with whatever helmet they tell you to. Because it's simple. You're making all this money, and all you are being told to do is wear certain color spikes and wear a certain helmet. So just play. And listen, he's gonna help out the Raiders so much, and Derek Carr so much. But the fact that he doesn't want to, because he wants his old helmet, that's absurd. And I think he needs to get a reality check, because he doesn't have to get paid all the money he's getting paid. They can just say, you know what? When your contract expires, find a new contract. Every team could say, you know what, the same thing. If you don't want to wear the helmets we are making you wear, you're going to be a free agent. He's going to be the Carmelo Anthony of football, because Carmelo Anthony can't get a contract now in the offseason. And yeah, Carmelo Anthony didn't complain about anything. He just didn't play well in Houston. But Antonio Brown's going to be a guy who can't get a team. And listen, he said in an interview he's okay with walking away fully healthy at 30 years old. And I for one, fully believe him. He is a smart guy. He is very smart, and he knows what he's doing with his life, clearly. So he knows, you know what, if I can walk away from a sport I've played for many years, fully healthy, and go down as a top receiver that's ever played, okay, I'm going to do it. And that's smart by him to say, you know what, I have no problem walking away. So, if he wants to walk away, go ahead. He just saved himself 5 to 10 more years of, getting roughed up and a chance of getting a career-ending injury or a serious injury that could affect him his whole life, instead of, now being 100% okay for the rest of his life. So, I believe he'll walk away if he doesn't get the helmet changed, but I don't think it's likely they'll change, because then, if they change for Antonio Brown, they'd have to change for any other athlete who asked, and if they don't, that'd be a bias toward the higher profile athletes, and then that gets the NFL in a big mess, more of a mess than they already are in, with all the dumb rules they've made up, with all the stupid calls they've made, that Saints pass interference play, that was clearly in favor of the Saints, but they didn't make the call. So, what is the NFL trying to accomplish here by saying, you know what, you can't wear this helmet, you can't do all this shit? Okay, what are they trying to accomplish here? What is the NFL trying to accomplish by saying you can't do this stuff? I don't get it. I really don't. And so this is going to be a very interesting next few weeks before the NFL regular season starts to see if Antonio Brown will either A, accept the helmet, B, walk away and retire, or C, the NFL will cave to him. But then that creates so many more issues with every other athlete who wants to change. Alright, that's done with that point. Chandler Catanzaro. Now, I'm a Jets fan, and he missed 2 extra points in a preseason opener. Find out today, he retires. I don't blame him. He's older. When you start missing 2 extra points, not just 1 but 2, clearly something's, been taken out of the tank. So, now the Jets need a kicker because he can't make 2 extra points in a preseason game when there's literally no pressure because there's literally no other kickers on the roster. It's no pressure whatsoever. Yeah, I get kickers are under pressure. You can. It's not easy. They can be called head cases, but you are experienced. You are a veteran, and you have no competition for your job. Unlike every other position besides punter, there's no competition for your job, and you can't tell me there's pressure there. Yeah, if you can't kick a field goal, can't kick an extra point, you get cut, free agent, and then next time a team, has a kicker that can't do that, you are trying out. You're in no danger of losing your starting job because there's no other kickers on the roster. And the Jets wouldn't pay Jason Meyer, which, even though he was spectacular, find Roberto Aguayo. He was the 3rd most accurate kicker in NCAA history after he finished his career at Florida State, and the most accurate in ACC history. So find him. Jets, I don't care what you do, get a kicker that's reliable and won't blow you half the games this year. Alright, that's that, because clearly I was mad. But, last point, Theo Riddick, and this is not too much of a rail on anybody, but the Lions release him, and by the way, Detroit Lions, you're really in a position to release one of the better players on your roster probably because he's that good. When your team was terrible in the 2018-19 season. Terrible. And now you're releasing one of your better players in Theo Riddick. The Giants aren't in the Lions are not in that position to make that move. Now, maybe the Chiefs, if they had, okay, yeah, they are one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL. You can make that move because they always find someone else. But you're the Lions. You're the Detroit Lions. The Lions are known for Matt Patricia sucking his first year coaching, Matt Stafford being like the only good player on that team since Calvin Johnson Jr. And what else? Oh, wait. Forgot. Your city having lead in their water. That is pretty much all Detroit's known for. Wait. One more thing. The terrible trade that they made for Blake Griffin from the Pistons. Detroit is just atrocious. I mean, there's no point talking about that anymore. So moving on to Denver to where Theo Riddick got signed. And now he's out with a fractured shoulder, 6 to 8 weeks. Won't make the regular season debut. And adding him and Phillip Lindsay in that backfield would be a great backfield. Lindsay's a great runner, and he has shown that he can catch out of the backfield. He ran for almost, if not 1,000 yards, almost 1,000 yards. And I'm almost certain he did. And so now, you have him, 1,000-yard rusher, and a guy who can run solid, but is also a very good receiver out of the backfield, which is probably his best attribute, in your backfield. And yeah, signing him smart. Don't get me wrong, it is smart. But now he gets a fractured shoulder. What are you going to do? You're going to have to sign somebody. Take someone off the practice squad. Because they're not extremely strong on the depth at running back. So, for goodness sake, Denver, Detroit, figure it out, because Detroit needs to figure it out with why they're making all these moves that are depleting the team when they can't even compete for even close to a playoff spot. And Denver needing more depth. By the way, Denver, they got Drew Lock. I applaud them. He was underrated from where he was drafted. And I think it's great having Joe Flacco, who's an experienced quarterback, as his mentor. But why trade for Joe Flacco? There was no point to trading for him when Case Keenum is probably as good as him. Because Joe Flacco, let's be honest, hasn't been good since he won that Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl, and he wasn't even that good. He was good when he won the Super Bowl. And then they pay him millions and millions of dollars to come back and be an above-average quarterback at best. Some years he's been complete trash. I mean, sometimes he's terrible. Sometimes he's been even worse than trash. Whatever that is, he's been awful. And so now you're gonna have a guy who, yes, only thing he has is experience in a ring. You know who also has rings? Punters that suck. You can find the best team in the NFL who has the worst punter, and they win Super Bowl. Oh, and he gets a ring for doing almost nothing. So a ring is impressive if you were the quarterback on that team, yes. But you know what? After that, Joe Flacco's been terrible. And he gets to show off one ring where, by the way, they almost blew that Super Bowl to the 49ers. Who had Colin Kaepernick, Mr. I'm taking a knee, and I'm not getting another job in the NFL as long as I live. So, that's what they have in Denver. Fractured shoulder, who probably would be better than anyone they could pick up healthy. Joe Flacco, Mr. Oh, I have one ring. But you know what? We almost blew that to Colin Kaepernick, that's all that needs to be said. And then, not only that, but listen, this defense has Von Miller, who's going to waste because, yes, they have a great defense, but they got no offense. They signed Case Keenum, who I was a fan of, and he's not bad, but he's not a Super Bowl quarterback. They have a Super Bowl winning defense. Put them on the team with the best offense, which I believe is the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way. That's a Super Bowl team, because the Chiefs already have a solid defense. But that Denver defense, stats whether they are reflected or not, they are good. Alright, so that's going to end things here. But I'll be coming to you tomorrow with Bo Gray on his YouTube channel. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining.